YouTube, what it do, man? It's your guy CJ back with another video, back with another episode of the CJ Wilkins YouTube channel. This one today, guys, is going to be the third installment of a classic I've been working on for about maybe 5 years in totality now. It started on my podcast, the Be a Man podcast. I'll put a link to that in the description below. But the second installment of it, part 2, I think is on YouTube, and I'll share that one with you guys down below as well. But you know, people were fans of the second installment of You're the CEO of Your Life, the chopping block theory. Excuse me. And you know, folks been emailing me, man, and like hitting me up on social media like, yo, CJ, we got to get that third piece, man. Like, we need you to break it down a little bit more. Like, what do you mean, like, when you say the chopping block theory? Because it sounds kind of cold, man. Like, and I give you guys like a brief overview. The chopping block theory is that at any moment's time, man, you got to be able to put people, places, and things that no longer serve you in a positive, conducive way. You got to be able to put it on the guillotine. You got to be able to put it on the chopping block, and you have to be able to cut these things off for your betterment, for your ability to be able to improve and get better and do better and move better, right? That's what I call the chopping block theory, man. And, you know, for episode 3, man, I really want to go a little bit deeper into how maniacal you have to be. Like, you have to really be a mercenary about your future, about your potential, about your progress. And when I say a mercenary, man, you got to be able to be like, almost like, I don't know, like if any of y'all ever seen Terminator before, but you know, Terminator, like the TIs and all that stuff, like the, those were like the AIs, the robots, but they were like, you know, emotionless, you know what I mean? They had a mission, and their goal and their job was to go out and achieve that mission, irrespective of, like, you know, whoever had like feelings or like emotions about it. They had to go out and get the job done. That's how you have to be when you're progressing in life. When you're at a certain plateau and you're really wanting to get to that next level, you're gonna have to become something that you're not presently, right? So to do that, there's going to be new people that you're going to have to meet. But of course, with anything new, there's going to be a necessity for you to remove, right? Because the Lord giveth, but he also taketh away, right? So if he taketh away as he gives, when you're adding new components of greatness into your life, you have to remove other things as well, right? Because when you remove lesser things, you make room in your life for greater things. That goes for people, places, and things. That could be places you go to right now that may fit the life that you live, right? The level you are, there may be people that you hang around that fit that, right? But let's just say that you wanted to go to a whole different like level. Like, every person that you currently deal with, they're not going to fit where you're trying to go, right? Everything that you do in your free time, it may not be the most conducive thing for you to do when you're trying to get to that next level. You know what I mean? You may have a job, a really good job, man. And like, you know, you may even be like in middle management, you know, and you've done some work on yourself, you know, in your career. You've gotten some licenses and some, you know, like some certificates and whatnot. And you may say, man, I think I want to get into senior leadership. I think I really want to try to go up and try to become an exec at some point, right? And you know, to do that, right, it's a lot of additional roles you got to apply for and obtain. There's a lot of drug tests involved. If you a smoker, right, if you somebody like that do drugs, you may like to smoke a little bit. And I don't really refer to weed like as a drug per se. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't judge people that do anything really, but drugs is kind of like, you know, we'll refer to weed as a drug just for the sake of the example. If you are in a circle of people who smoke and you're trying to elevate professionally, you may have to reevaluate those people. You may have to reevaluate the action of smoking weed, because, that's not going to be the most conducive thing for your career if you're trying to move and elevate. You know what I mean? Some of y'all are trying to, you may have fitness goals you're trying to get to, but you love that soul food spot downtown. You know what I mean? You may have to cut out the oxtails and the collard greens and the the cornbread and the jambalaya and the smoked neck bones and all that good shit. I'm getting hungry just talking about that. You know what I mean? I should take my own advice on that, but anything, man, it's going to take for you to get better, for you to become greater than you are right now, especially for you to become elite in anything. There's a very finite line that you walk to where the line between error and improvement is about that thin, even thinner than that, right? So you got to be careful, man, and you have to make those decisions for you. That's the thing also that I want to talk about. When you're in the art of self-improving and getting to the next level and becoming the best version of yourself, right? You have to also know how to take inventory and be honest about it as to where you are right now, right? And a lot of times we don't really want to do that, you know what I mean? I can tell you personally, guys, therapy was incredible for me, and I recommend it for anyone who hasn't been. You don't have to go forever, but, I went to therapy, man, and counseling for 4 years, man, and those are probably 4 of the most hardest years of my life. I had to unpack everything about me, and we love talking about the good stuff, I love talking about being tall, dark, handsome, and funny, and all that shit, Used to have some hops back in the day, I could only dunk a chicken McNugget now, so I ain't gonna talk about, back when I was a slam dunker and all that stuff, back in the gym and stuff, man. But now, man, you love all the good stuff, but when it get down to the ugly stuff, to the rough stuff, to the unappealing stuff, that's when it gets a little hard. That's when it gets a little difficult. You know what I mean? And you have to be very, very careful that you're being honest with yourself in the process, man, because if you're not careful, if you're not genuinely doing the work, right, when you get to that unpacking stage, you really will tell yourself the story that sounds the best. So you'll make up something in your head that sounds believable, but man, in self-improvement and getting better, man, before you're able to build up, sometimes you got to tear down, you know what I mean? And tear down isn't always a bad thing. People hear tear down and they think, oh man, that's cold, that's messed up. But sometimes you gotta really see the things about you that are just ugly, that are hideous, that are disgusting, that are unrighteous, things that are not of God. And you really gotta look at it and you gotta examine it, and you really gotta say, man, this part of me has to die. But a thing that people do, right, they'll say that, but they don't have any concept in their head about what they need to replace it with. Because I'm telling you, man, even if you do this in your house, right, try this, you try to straighten up a space or clean out a room, right? If you remove something off of a shelf, right, you can just remove something and leave it off, right? Some people can do that. A lot of people can't. But if you're going to replace junk or something that is of no use, right, you don't want to replace it with something else that is useless and of no value to you, right? So you really got to be cognizant to think, if I remove this negative trait or this negative character flaw or this negative self-belief I have, what do I need to replace it with? You know, it can be as simple as the opposite. I can replace my negative self-belief with positive, healthy self-talk. I can replace this negative viewpoint of men or women with a more healthier one. I can replace this negative addiction I have to pornography, to food, to playing video games, to going to the club, to spending money I don't have on Amazon. Whatever the case is, I can replace those with healthier habits, but you have to know what those healthier habits are. And then, two, you have to be committed to actually doing them. Because knowing what they are and implementing them are two completely different languages, you know? It's English and Farsi. So you got to make sure that you are going to be able to, or you know how to, implement them, right? But the chopping block theory, man, it knows no boundaries. It knows no limits. The moment you identify somebody, someplace, something is an anchor to you swimming up to who God made you to be, you got to be able to cut chain, brothers. Any ladies watching this, sisters, because women show me love too, and I appreciate that a lot, man. But, you know, anybody watching this stuff, man, like, this shit is applicable to both. You know what I mean? Like, but you got to cut that chain, bro. So that's what I mean. That is exactly what I mean when I say chopping block theory, and you are the CEO of your life. No one else is going to do this for you, man. No one else is going to do this for you. This is your life. This is your body. This is your mind. This is all you. And you can do something to make it great and improve it. You can actually get worse and do nothing and fall off. But one thing I want you to know, man, and you probably didn't hear it here first, but I'll be the first to give you a reminder. You can never stay the same. You can never coast. I know people think they can just kind of like, you know, just sail and just coast and just be the same person for 10. Nah, man. Nah, bro. It don't work like that, bro. Even if you had the same title or the same address or you drive the same car, you don't stay the same for a long time, man. You're either actively improving or getting better, or you're resting on your morals, right? And you're getting worse. Because if you're not getting better, guys, please understand. I know we live in this world where there's a lot of fake positivity, right? And people love to like spit on you and tell you it's raining and say stuff like, man, you know, you ain't got to grind or try to be better, man. You can just be yourself, man, and just, you know, whatever you got, that's enough, man. Look, bro. Be appreciative of what you have and what God has done for you, okay? But I also know that if you're not actively day in and day out trying to get better, even if it's just by like a small percentage, these people cannot drive in North Texas, Dallas-Fort Worth area to be specific. If you live in Dallas-Fort Worth, put a 1 in a comment below if you know people here cannot drive. Yeah. They drive like they don't have insurance either. That's crazy. But now, man, it's important to be cutthroat. I mean, you need to be zero smiles. You need to be like, when it comes to that chopping block, anybody can get laid on it, bro. Anybody can get down, bro. Anybody. And it is your duty, it is your obligation. The moment you identify or you realize that somebody is not going to be, you know, conducive or like positive for your overall growth and your expansion as a man or a woman, you know, you got to remove that person, bro. You got to remove them. If you serious about, you know, becoming an entrepreneur and like a leader in a particular industry, and you got people around you, friends or family, it don't really matter, who love to just waste time. And when I say waste time, y'all know who I'm talking about. People who just love to, whether it's talk on the phone about absolutely nothing for hours at a time, or people who just love to go out and just waste time, you know. I'm all for, like, you know, going out, enjoying yourself every once in a while, man. Doing something, you know, doing something kind for yourself. But some people just love to go out and do absolutely nothing, bro. And I'm like, man, you know, they'll go out, man, and you'll be like, bro, all the time I spent doing that, I could have been doing this. I could have been doing something way more productive. I could have been doing something way more, like, healthy and conducive that would put me on a path of where I'm trying to be and where I'm trying to go. You know what I mean? Because you got to realize how valuable time is, bro. Time is the one commodity you can never get back. You know what I mean? If you lose your purse or your wallet today, you're going to make a lot more money. You can call the state office. They can send you a copy of your driver's license. You know what I mean? If someone stole your car or repoed your vehicle, you can get another vehicle, a better version of it. You know, your house get foreclosed on and feel like the whole world is falling from up under you, man. You could, you know, fall back for a few months, get your money up and everything, and go get you, well, you may not be able to get another house right away, but you can find somewhere to live. You know what I mean? The address you at now ain't the only address you can live at, you know. You can find you another place to rest your head, and your name could be on the lease or the mortgage again. So, you know what I mean? Like, you lose your girlfriend or your wife leaves you, bro. It's plenty more fish in the sea, man. Plenty more fish, you know. So, don't beat yourself up too much about that. But time, the 17 minutes my country has been rambling on this video, you never gonna get them 17 minutes back. So I hope you gain some value or some information from it. It's your guy CJ. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It does a lot for the algorithm. I've been told. I don't know yet. I'm a small channel, but I'm appreciative for whoever's still here. And as always, it's your guy CJ, and I'm out. Peace.